Hello, 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 and welcome to Juice with the News. I'm Eli,
Jack.
and we have an amazing episode today. Isn't that right, Jack?
Um, no, I mean yes.
Jack, how amazed are you about what I'm about to show everyone?
Uh, if you had to, if like on a scale of 1 to 100 of how amazed I was when Eli first showed me this, maybe like a 97, 98.
97,
It's
98.
it's high.
This is
It's high.
a this is a talent I discovered I could do pretty recently. And
And if
so
you're listening on Spotify, you won't know what's happening.
you won't know it's well. I'll
But you know,
explain it.
no,
I'll explain it. Yes, I will.
just show it.
I am.
Just
Are you ready?
no. The world's not ready to see this.
I'm gonna explain it. Here's what I do. I lick my elbow. Now, you guys are being. I know what you guys are thinking. You're like, Eli, that's so lame. You try to lick your elbow. This is something like only
All
1
right.
in 150 people can do.
I
in
think
the
I
world.
think that's a whack stat. I think that
You think
you're
it's
the only
less?
one in the entire world to be able to do it.
I know. I grew up
All
hearing like,
right.
oh, it's
For
impossible.
context, this is me trying to lick my elbow. Let's see if I can do it. Which, spoiler alert, if you're watching the Spotify, if you're listening on Spotify, I can't.
You can't.
I just
You
can't.
almost got close, yeah. Now,
Yeah.
not okay. I'll show you my left arm, and then I'll show you my right arm. Because not only can I do it with one arm, I can do it with both elbows. Are you ready?
Can't do it with either. Oh, okay. Go.
That's
Impressive.
one.
Impressive.
That's two.
It's just an Eli is a mutant.
Thank you. I've messed up shoulders and a tiny head, so I think all in all that kind of helps.
Can you do the circle
Oh, yeah.
around?
Here's another thing for all you viewers out there.
All you viewers.
I can't really explain. Actually, I can. I can reach around my head with both arms. I can reach my arm around my head and touch my ear. So like I can reach my left arm around my ear and touch my left ear. So like Jack, you try and do it.
No. Okay, fine.
How far can you get? Yeah.
Like
And I can do this. I can do it with both arms as well. So I'll show you. I'll do left first. I can tug my ear for you right there. And I can tug my. I don't know if you saw that. It's hard to do it on my right arm. But yeah, so that's just a little cool.
You
thing
are
about
possessed.
Me.
You are possessed by the devil.
Let me know what you think. I mean, I have to think I'm just getting superpowers from all the souls I've been collecting throughout the years.
All the souls.
Exactly.
Speaking of souls, great episode.
Yeah.
Great episode.
Great episode.
It really that was a horrible transition. I'm just gonna stop myself before I continue it. Okay. Onto the actual part of the episode. You know, fun little tidbit about Eli, so you can really connect with us as people.
Yes. Make sure to comment down below weird things you can do.
Yes, it's a good idea.
Okay.
But on a completely unrelated note, the vaccine is starting to become available to the American public, kind of. Not really.
Yeah, like you can't just go up to your doctor and be like, "Can I get the vaccine?"
Yo, let me get a vaccine. Yeah. You have to be a politician or a healthcare worker.
Pretty much.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you watch Mike Pence get his vaccine on TV?
I did. He works out. Did you see that bicep?
He's pretty buff.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Do you think we'll see? I mean, first off, do you think Trump will get the vaccine? Second off, will we see Trump get the vaccine?
And I don't think we'll see the Trump get the vaccine because I think he's afraid of shots.
That's not what I was going to say.
Oh, you don't?
But that's a good take. That's an interesting take.
Thank you.
So do you think he won't get it at all?
No, I think he will, but they'll have to like put one of those like little bumblebees, like when you were a kid, that vibrates on your arm to like numb the arm, and then they'll ice it up, and then and like no one wants to see that on national television.
I think that Trump doesn't want to get the vaccine in public because he doesn't want to have to roll up his sleeve or take his shirt off. If you think about it, every image you've seen of him, he is wearing a jacket.
What about when he plays golf?
He's still wearing a jacket.
Really?
Always wearing a jacket.
Wow.
I don't think, at least I could be wrong, but I feel like every time he's out in public, he wears a jacket. I think he is slightly embarrassed, which is fine. But that's why I think he doesn't.
The term rolling up your sleeve often means you are going to do work, and we know he hates work.
We know he hates doing work.
Yeah.
Get other people to do it for him. So other people will get the shot for him, and he'll say he got the shot. There
exactly.
It is. That's what it is. Okay. Are you disappointed that the vaccine's not named after him?
No. I think, do you know what I think it should be called?
What?
The Washington football team vaccine. I feel like that has a nice ring to it. I think it has a nice ring to it. I think.
Shouldn't it just be called the vaccine?
Oh, that's good. What about the co-vaccine?
The co-scene? Wait, what? The cosign.
What about the COVID-19? Trying to combine 19 with vaccine.
Sure, we'll go with that. Anyway, I wanted to ask you, because first off, why do politicians get the vaccine first?
Because they're the most important people in America.
But are they?
They are not. I think it's because like when you think about it at first, you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like the people in our government who control how our country operates should get the vaccines, but also like it's not like the country's gonna crumble if a couple more congressmen get COVID, right?
Because I mean, they have gotten COVID, and
right. Do you know what I think it is? It's because literally almost like 99% of people, like politicians, like public figurehead politicians, right? Like congressmen and senators and stuff like that, are people who are at risk for COVID. Like they're either old or they have diabetes.
Well, they're not giving. Are they giving vaccines to at-risk people?
I mean, if you're important enough, probably, right?
Okay. Well, if you're important enough anyway, you'll get the vaccine whether you're at risk or not. So I feel like that's not a factor. It doesn't make sense to me why they get it. I think in their heads, they're like, we'll get the vaccine because we'll show the American public that it's okay. But if you wanted to show the American public that it's okay to get the vaccines, have celebrities get it, have athletes get it, have other artists get it. They have more influence than politicians do.
Yeah, no one cares if
politicians are scumbags, and you won't believe anything they say.
We want to see Beyonce vaccinate her child on national television.
Yes, if that happens, everyone will get the vaccine, no matter what. There's no denying it.
Mm-hmm.
No denying it.
No denying it. That'd be actually really cool. I have a great imagination. I'm just thinking about that right now. Continue.
The other end of the vaccines that are being handed out to start with is the healthcare workers.
Yeah.
Which, first off, round of applause for them.
They went to medical school, most of them.
They did go to medical school. That's a lot of years.
That's a lot of years.
Yeah. Too much dedication.
Imagine if, like, when you signed up to go to medical school, like, being like, yes, I'm willing to risk my life to go spend 5 years in school and then get no sleep for another 5 years. Like, that seems weird to me.
What do you mean risk your life?
Like, these doctors nowadays are risking their lives by going to work. Like, imagine if, like, you knew that.
I mean, in theory, you know, a lot of jobs risk their lives.
Yeah, but this one, like, actually risks their... It's not, like, in theory anymore. Like, this one literally risks their lives.
Literally, like, a construction worker, one of the wrecking balls just hits them and they die.
Yeah, but, like, they're aware of that.
That's not theoretical. Like, that is literal.
No, but, like, they're aware of that risk when they sign up. Like, no doctors...
Okay, doctors are aware of the risk that they might catch diseases because they're working with patients with these diseases.
All I'm saying is I think it would have been nice if before you commit to medical school, like, someone has to tell you, like, in case of a mass pandemic in which our government has no infrastructure to help you with, you will have to risk your life to fight a disease that your government and pretty much, like and the people will not help you in fighting. Like I just feel like that should be said.
Okay, fair enough. Anyways, I was thinking about the fact that the healthcare workers get the vaccine first. By all means, doing a great job. They need to get the vaccine. They need to keep themselves safe so they can continue to work with all the patients that are in the hospitals and the ICU on ventilators
Mm-hmm.
and all that jazz. But here's my dilemma that I'm kind of thinking about. It's a hot take in a sense, but it's more of a dilemma. It's if the hospitals are being overflown and they're not able to admit any more patients because of all the patients with COVID, and that's where the real issue of this virus is that people are dying because they can't get the proper care because COVID is a horrible virus. Shouldn't we take precautions to prevent more hospitalizations?
I agree with you to some extent. I think that
right, it's to some extent. It's like, where do you draw the line of like just the general public can get it first, just so more hospitalizations, and keeping the people who have to work with the people who are in the patients in the hospitals, keep them safe. It's a fine line, but I feel like the way I see it is that healthcare workers have been dealing with this, and although it's not 100% safe, as the pandemic has grown longer, they have developed safer ways to help deal with these patients to the point where I think it's more important to limit the hospitalizations.
Yeah,
and I feel like by doing that is to give the vaccines to people who are going to get COVID.
I get that.
Who are
I just think
at risk of getting COVID and being hospitalized.
I just think like logistically.
That's hard to do. I'm not saying it's not hard to do, but from like a mental standpoint, like that makes sense.
No, I get it. Yeah, like from like if you're thinking about like common sense, you're definitely right. I think treating people who are more at risk to die is probably a more important thing, definitely. But yeah, I think it's just because logistically it's hard to do, and also like publicity, like for the sake of publicity, it also is going to be better to say like we're helping doctors than we're helping old people, you know.
Right.
Yeah, that's my take. That's my hot take, if you will.
Yes, hot take.
I'm personally pro-vaccine. Is my other thing. I
okay, so good. I don't like understand why people are like, oh yeah, I'm not getting the vaccine because like I don't know what's in it.
That's so weird, right? Like, think about the
if you had if you've had anything on the McDonald's menu, you shouldn't be scared of getting the vaccine.
Also, like, think about the last time you went to the doctor and they were like, oh, we also have this new hepatitis shot. Like, I know for a fact that has happened to most of the people who are listening because that has happened to me, and like, you know, I'm only like 18 years old. So if that's happened to me, it's probably happened to the rest of you. And like when someone else says like, oh, we have this new hepatitis shot that you're gonna take, no one
no one's like, wait a second, what's in that vaccine?
Exactly.
Unless, well, okay, I would say unless you're anti-vax originally, but if you're anti-vax, you wouldn't be in the doctor's office.
Yeah, exactly.
Point. And you're dumb.
Yeah.
Honestly, just whatever.
Just go stand near a 4G cell tower or a 5G.
You mean a 5G?
A 5G cell tower, thank you.
5G cell tower.
Exactly.
Anyway, talking about something else that is really stupid, besides anti-vaxxers. Standardized testing.
Oh, standardized testing. Let's talk about standardized testing.
Yeah. This episode is about a bunch of stuff that, in my opinion, well, I think never mind. Yeah. I mean, the vaccine's not stupid, but people who say the vaccine is stupid is stupid.
Exactly.
Anyways, standardized
and my
testing.
elbow is stupid.
Yes, that is a dumb thing. Now that I think about it, it actually makes sense why we put that at the beginning. See, we think about these things before we just,
Lots of
jam pack an episode together.
It's not like we just hopped on a call and like thought out loud for 10 minutes before deciding to like
10
click
minutes,
the record
10
button.
minutes, 10 minutes.
I'm a talker, guys. I'm not the most productive person.
Clearly, I just introduced a new topic. 2 minutes later, I still haven't talked about what we wanted to talk about.
Standardized testing. Let's go.
Standardized testing. What are your thoughts?
I'm pro standard, anti-testing. No, I'm anti-standard.
Pro standard, anti-testing.
Yeah.
Honestly, in my opinion, I'm protesting anti-standard. Yeah, I feel like there should be tests, but like the standards of the test. Just
one person's test should look completely different from the other person's
yes, it should be designed for the person and how best they learn.
I mean, like, who cares?
That's the true. No, but that actually does make sense because that's the true sign of intelligence.
Yeah,
it's
but
like everybody has their own learning styles, and standardized testing only tests on one style. So standardized testing isn't a test of how much you know or how much you've learned. It's a test of how much you know how to test.
Right. But like, what kind of teachers do you think are able to figure out the exact right question format for you, right? Like tailor-make
quizzes.
Tailor-make hundreds of tests.
BuzzFeed quizzes. You just hop them on a BuzzFeed quiz. You'd be like, what kind of learner are you? And then you find out what learner you are. And then the rest of your curriculum is based off that.
But then you're not making them
tailor-made. Divided into teams.
So then it's just 3 different standards. And then it's just like 3 different standardized tests.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Anyway, that was a joke. I wasn't actually taking that seriously.
I'm into it, actually. I like that idea.
I do believe that standardized testing is an issue in our education system.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think
to start off with.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go.
No, you go first. I feel like you know more about this. Yeah.
All right. So to start off with, the first point that I wanted to make is that the education system or the curriculum that schools have in place is solely designed to cater to these standardized tests. By that, I mean, you're being force-fed information that's going to be on the test for you to do well on that test.
Right. Yeah, the goal of the class is to try to get you to reach a certain score on a test by the end of the year.
Which shouldn't be the goal.
Right. The goal should be to learn.
The goal should be to learn and not care about your grades, but as long as like you've learned, you've done well.
Right,
Which the grade thing is another issue that's kind of related, is that I feel like standardized testing creates this mentality that you have to have good grades in order to succeed.
Right.
I mean, yes, in a way.
I mean,
like if you want to go to grad school, if you want to go to grad school, you have to have a certain GPA. Like you have to have a GPA to get into college you want to go to, whatever. Like in a sense, like they are important, but they're not the by all means. Like if you get a C or a D or an F, it's not gonna you're not gonna die on the spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I took chemistry sophomore year, advanced chemistry, and 3 tests in a row.
You got a B, and you got a B.
3 tests in a row, I got C, D, D.
Respect.
So, but look at me. I mean, I dropped out of college.
Dropped out of college.
You know, obviously bad grades means you'll do well. No, I think you're right. I think standardized tests are inherently flawed in that, you know, the way they try to conduct their way of seeing how well you learn shifts like the focus of learning itself. It's kind of like that theory that like observing something automatically changes the way that thing is done. You know, that theory, like the act of observing something changes like when you try to observe and evaluate how someone learns into like one number, you add this other element that then completely changes how we learn and
Right.
what
Right.
does learning mean, right?
Right. It's just flawed because, I mean, it these grades have influence on both the students and the teachers.
Absolutely.
So instead of trying to get the students in a more well-equipped place to like learn things, whether that be on their own or from superiors, like later in life when you're not being force-fed this information and you have to find out, like this standardized testing mentality puts students at a disadvantage because when they get into jobs, when they get into the so-called real world, if that exists, it's harder to cope because you're not being given the information that you need to be able to do your task.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
I don't know how exactly it works, but in some districts, some school districts, I mean, teachers get bonuses based
Right.
off their students' test scores.
Right.
To some points, to the extent where they get paid very little, even less than what
Yeah.
even less than what they should get paid, but even less than other teachers from other districts. And where if their students don't do well on their tests, like they don't get that bonus. Like the bulk of their paycheck is bonuses from the students'
Yeah.
test scores.
Right. Which incentivizes not only students but teachers as well.
Right. And it creates more of a learning style of, again, force feeding the information down the student's throat as opposed to catering to them to help them, be
Yeah.
able to do this,
And
like to be able to actually learn instead of just memorize it.
yeah, and it also like is disadvantageous to like people who are economically rough backgrounds, because people who grow up in affluence are able to pay for ACT tutors and ACT guidebooks, and there or SAT practice tests, and they're able to, or they go to schools where they are taught by a curriculum that is specifically oriented to get you a good ACT score, to get you into good colleges, right? And so it makes it easier for those people inherently. And if you're someone from a poor background, you're extremely extremely more likely to do poorly on the test itself, because like Jack said, it doesn't actually test your intelligence.
It tests your ability to test, which
Exactly.
it's a shame. It creates a system where the rich, succeed and the poor keep failing.
Exactly. You were talking about standardized testing. You were talking about how it
Well,
goes,
yes.
about how the way we teach with standardized testing goes against what education should be, right? Because of it.
Yes. So America says that education should be the opportunity for people, for students to equally grow and learn
Mm-hmm.
and be at relatively the same place. But with standardized testing, it depends on your background.
Right. Yeah.
I think that was it. I think that was all that I wanted to touch upon.
All right.
I might have missed something. But
Cool.
you know what? We move.
We move.
We move.
We move on.
To another thing that I think is a stupid argument, which before we get into this, I would like to reiterate that like this is a hot take for me, but it makes sense. This is just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And like I get the argument on the other side saying like, oh yeah, it should matter. You guys don't know what I'm talking about yet, but you know what? Me and Eli do. So I'm gonna continue to say it. It's like
Yeah.
I personally don't think it should matter. but to some people think it does, and I will respect that. I will not go against their beliefs because I think I'm above the curve.
You're the guy.
What we're talking about is the so-called war on Christmas.
Dun, dun,
Is that
dun.
is that a good way to put it? The war
That
on
is a good way to
Christmas.
put it. Yeah.
What we mean by that is when people say Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas.
What do they mean? They mean,
Well, in my opinion, I feel like, at least in American society, that they mean the same thing.
yeah.
I don't think that there is a difference between Happy Holidays and Merry Christmas when you're saying it to a stranger or to somebody you're in a conversation with and you're ending it or whatever. Like if I'm getting some food somewhere at the register, they say Merry Christmas to me. That's them saying Happy Holiday. Like I feel like they mean the same thing. I get why people would want that others to say Happy Holidays as opposed to Merry Christmas. We like the inclusivity, but I don't feel excluded when people say Merry Christmas because I always just thought I just feel like they mean the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's anyone who says Merry Christmas is trying to do something nice, right? They're trying to be
Right.
polite.
It's not coming. I feel, yeah, you don't say Merry Christmas with malintent.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do something with malintent, you're not gonna say Merry Christmas.
I think
it's just not gonna happen.
right. And I think like realistically, we should be saying Happy Holidays, right? Like that's what you were saying. Like we say
from
we
a
say Happy
politically
Holidays.
correct standpoint, yes.
Yeah, like and down the road, I think the goal for society should be, just casually saying Happy Holidays during winter, during like the December 2020s, the 20s, the
Right.
December 20s.
But you're not gonna yell at the casual Christian who just said Merry Christmas while you were walking your dog past them in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Sometimes if I'm in a mood, I won't say as like if no one says anything to me, like if I'm the first person to like say like a greeting, I'll say Happy Hanukkah just to like see the reaction. And their reaction is none, but I like it because I know that I'm Jewish.
But that's
and
also
they know
exclusive.
that
Though.
I'm Jewish.
That's also
It is
exclusive.
But it's fun to just
You're part of the problem there.
I am part of the problem. I'm sorry.
No, but
Okay, no, but yeah. I think you're right. I think that it's not, realistically in everything that's going on in the world, this should not be what we fight over.
Like exactly. Like for me, like there's so many worse issues that people should be tackling besides this one.
Yeah.
So, like just stay away from it. Like it'll happen. If you address other issues, this will happen with it.
Yeah.
It should be a focus. Like if somebody I find myself saying Happy Holidays more because obviously like inclusive, whatever. I say that when I start off the conversation. But if somebody says Merry Christmas to me, I'll say Merry Christmas back.
That's fair. Is for me, like when I say Merry Christmas, it's always just like instinctual, which is part of the problem. Like like
in the conversations where somebody goes like, sort of like, I hope you like enjoyed, like you get off the roller coaster and the person working there is like, I hope you had a fun ride, and you said thanks, you too.
Yeah, or like when someone wishes you a happy birthday.
It's just instinctual. It's that kind of instinctual. It's kind of like the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
I definitely feel like.
All right, so we're on the same page.
Woo.
You like what I'm doing?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Do you have the handprint to end this off?
Which I do.
If you DM us on Instagram, you can win this.
You cannot. This is mine. But I will write.
Eli will pay for one of them.
I will write whatever you want me to write in this, and we'll show it next week.
Yes. So I guess that about does it for our episode.
That does it for this episode.
We appreciate everybody for joining us.
Thank you. This has been Jews with the News.
Sorry. Okay. Just quickly to address what happened last week. We're sorry we didn't get one up.
Jack had finals.
I had finals. Yeah, it's some weak stuff. Some weak stuff there. I should have still been able to get one in. Just didn't happen. It is what it is. But you know what? We're back, and until we finish the season, we'll hopefully get one in once a week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
We need to get a guest on for next episode.
Yeah.
I feel like we did it for a reason why it was
Yeah.
just us two for a little bit, because the end of the school year, we're busy, people are busy, schedules don't line up. Makes sense. But now that kind of break is
Promise
starting,
you a guest next week.
well, we don't promise.
We promise.
We're hoping. We'll hope. No,
All
we
right.
can't make any commitments because
Well, this has been Juice with the News.
yes.
Signing off.
Okay. See ya.